Bletchley Park, England, early 1940s. Inside a cramped wooden hut, a mathematician named Alan Turing is building a machine designed to do something the entire British intelligence apparatus had failed to do: break Nazi Germany's Enigma code. Believed at the time to be mathematically unbreakable, he succeeds.
The machines. It's as if they're finally speaking back. The work matters, yes, but at what cost do we measure the lives we save against the ones we can't?
Historians estimate his work shortened the war by roughly 2 to 4 years, saving an estimated 14 million lives. 7 years after the war ends, his own government will treat him like a criminal. And what almost nobody covers is where his obsession with codes actually started, with a single devastating loss. Years before the war even began. As a teenager at Sherborne School, Turing formed an intense friendship with a fellow student named Christopher Morcom, who shared his passion for science and mathematics. In 1930, Morcom died suddenly of complications from bovine tuberculosis. Turing, by multiple biographical accounts, was devastated, and in the years afterward, reportedly became preoccupied with questions about consciousness, the mind, and whether a machine could ever replicate human thought. Ideas some historians trace directly back to that early loss. Turing's work at Bletchley Park building on earlier Polish code-breaking research and developing what became known as the Bombay machine allowed the Allies to read intercepted German military communications throughout much of the war. Historian Sir Harry Hinsley, who worked at Bletchley himself, later estimated the code-breaking effort shortened the war in Europe by at least 2 years. And then, less than a decade later, the country he'd helped save turned on him. In 1952, Turing reported a burglary to police. During the investigation, he acknowledged a relationship with another man, which was, under UK law at the time, a criminal offense. He was prosecuted for gross indecency and convicted. And here's where the historical record gets genuinely difficult. Rather than prison, Turing accepted a treatment sometimes called chemical castration court-mandated hormone injections intended to reduce libido, which historians document caused significant physical and psychological side effects, including changes to his body he found deeply distressing. According to correspondence and accounts from people close to him at the time, he lost his security clearance. He was barred from continuing the cryptography work that had defined his career. In 1954, he died from cyanide poisoning, officially ruled a suicide by the inquest at the time, though some historians, including biographer Andrew Hodges and a 2012 letter-writing campaign led by physicist Jack Copeland, have raised publicly discussed questions about whether that inquest conclusion was as certain as it was treated. That debate remains genuinely unresolved among historians. Here's the detail that makes the loss even harder to measure. Beyond the wartime code-breaking, Turing had already published, in 1936, a theoretical paper describing what's now called the universal Turing machine, a foundational concept underlying every modern computer. He spent his final years working on early computer science and, separately, mathematical biology, publishing on how patterns like animal markings could emerge from chemical processes. Historians and scientists who've studied his unfinished notebooks describe a mind that was, at the time of his death, actively working on ideas decades ahead of where the rest of the field stood, work permanently cut short. In 2009, the UK government issued a formal public apology. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth II granted Turing a posthumous royal pardon. It took the country nearly 60 years to formally reckon with what it had done to the person most responsible for one of its greatest wartime achievements. This ties directly into the channel's masking framework, the same one we touched on with the Tesla Rituals episode. Turing spent a career hiding a fundamental part of who he was from an institution that depended entirely on his mind. Persecution doesn't just harm a person. It can erase them from history for decades before recognition catches up. Next episode, we're following that exact same masking pattern into music, a performer who kept a life-changing secret while writing some of the most emotionally raw songs of his career. Down in the comments, what do you think it costs a person, long-term, to